So the Ice Fernz are making their way to Iceland for the IIHF World Champs. Joining me is Hannah Shields, mainstay of the team. But first up, we've got to get the big question out of the way here. The team had a bit of an injury scare over the weekend with Jasmine Horner-Pascoe going down, tearing an ACL. And, we know of her scoring prowess, but what kind of impact has this, unfortunate situation had on the team?
Yeah, of course. So we've had a couple of injury scares, but I think with Jazz, we're all very optimistic. She's a battler. She'll keep on pushing through. And I think it's really just going to be about kind of playing to her other assets that she has. More so, she's known for her explosive skating, but maybe we need to kind of cater more to her, utilize her other assets, her passing ability and stick handling.
And aside from that, the injury scares, how has the training camp been for the Ice Fernz? Like, what's been the focus over the past few days?
Yeah, so we've had a ton of ice time. So we've had about 12 hours over 3 days, and just kind of focusing on our systems and getting everyone familiar because we haven't had a lot of time together prior to this weekend. We're still missing a couple of girls, so it's been sort of difficult, but really just getting our systems down and being comfortable and knowing what we're doing and trusting each other.
Yeah, you mentioned that you played the men's under-18 team, would have been last night. And then you played a couple of the men's teams. Just, do they go easy on you? Do they go hard? Like, what do you take away from those games?
Yeah, so they don't take it easy on us at all, which is great, which is perfect. So I think the main thing is they're a young team, the team we've been playing. So they have a lot of energy, and they really just go. They're at you all the time, and I think that's good because it's really not our style at all. So we've been forced to kind of adapt and try and keep our controlled game, but keep that intensity, and always having two players there on you has been quite good for our prep.
And, typically, yeah, you're training in Auckland, but typically, national teams, you go overseas on the way to world champs, you have, a bit of a look around, and I guess it was just too costly, this time around. So with the camp, being in Auckland, what difference does that make for you being in, familiar surroundings as opposed to, some foreign country?
Mm-hmm. I think financially it's been a massive help. I'm not sure. It's had its challenges, just in terms of team bonding, sort of not having that time together. And I think for a lot of the Auckland-based girls, you still have those pressures from home. And so that's kind of been a side of it that we didn't really anticipate. But again, familiar training ground, and the financial side of it has been a massive benefit.
Speaking of that Auckland connection there, it's pretty undeniable with this team, not just with your coach, but, you got a good mix of the senior players and newcomers alike from that Steel team that won, the NZW this year. Do you think that helps take the Ferns that one step closer to 2020 after, narrowly missing out on the gold medal last year, just kind of having that Auckland camaraderie there?
I think that our having that group of I kind of say veterans, I guess, together that have played a long time really helps, especially I think with that Auckland camp where we don't have as much time together. We already have those connections and we can work well, and Rachel knows us so well that she can kind of play to our strengths and make those line pairings that really already know how we play together. So yeah, I definitely think it's been an advantage.
And one thing last year, Danielle Strayer made her debut with the Ferns, but she was playing D rather than being in goal. So now that you've got her there with the pads on, how's she stacking up?
She is amazing. She is just a brick wall. Frustrating when you're not on her team, but amazing when you are. I think I actually had a really good chat with her today, and I think it's been nice for her to sort of be able to get into it and not have that pressure of everything is new. When she's a rookie in the team and she's trying to learn everything and she's trying to do a new position. Whereas this time she's in her element. She knows what she's doing and she's having a blast. So yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. This being your 7th tour of duty with the Ice Fernz, and I know you've gone through a lot to even make it this time around. What would it mean to you to finally get out of Division 2B?
It's my one goal. I can't quit until we get there. It's why we keep all coming back, and I think we're all really feeling, as much as we're feeling the pressure, I think it's such an honor to be able to keep going and keep working for it. And every year being so close, it makes you want it more the year after. So yeah, we're feeling good. I feel like this is really our opportunity to make it happen.
Keeping, with that experience, how much, have you seen personally with the Ice Ferns grow over time? What do you think's changed, for the better since that rookie season? Obviously, that could be quite a lot. There's a lot there, I'm sure.
That's a good question. I think that we work a lot more as a team, and I think you're seeing now that inline influence really come through. I mean, in my rookie year, we had a couple of inliners that were coming through, whereas now I think it's a really kind of a key point of our game is that sort of that inline freedom puck movement style. It's a very controlled style that we have now. And I think it's added a lot of depth to women's ice hockey, having those inliners come through. And I think that's why you're seeing it more now with those Auckland players make up, a decent chunk of the team, and with the Auckland Steel as well, coming home with the win that they did. I think it's probably that inline influence bringing something new to the ice game.
I like it. Just lastly, Hannah, obviously we know Australia's come down to your division this year, and March 1st, New Zealand, you're going to be facing the Aussies in your final game of round robin. Do you see them being the biggest obstacle to achieving success in Iceland?
Ooh, honestly, it's been funny because it's always sort of been us and Iceland. Iceland have always been our big competitor, so it's kind of an interesting shift. I mean, we know them, they know us, and it's always a really heated rivalry. So I think it will be a really strong game. But yeah, my eyes are on Iceland first, in all honesty.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks so much for the time, Hannah, and just wishing you and all the rest of the Ice Ferns all the best with your travels to Iceland.